Again, thank you everyone for joining. I have Barot with me today. And before we go into talking about all of these new AI test automation tools coming out, I want to ask Deep, how did he get into this, business and decided to build this product? I'm just curious, how do you come up with the idea like that?
Yeah, so thanks, Tatyana. First of all, congratulate and thank you for building this great community. I was amazed by attending the Seattle in person and the energy, and whoever attended must feel the same. So thank you. And it feel like you added more energy to the QA world itself in general. Having said that, so I'm coming from the pure development and DevOps background. And I was leading engineering team at a fintech company, at auto finance company in Michigan. And I see the lots of like I was driving the cultural shift when the DevOps was too early, where the AWS cloud microservices everything was there, and there were like two companies were making the headlines. One was Netflix with their releases and the quality. Another one was a Capital One. And there where the Dora metrics came up, that book came up, Accelerate. And what we learned is in the next era, all the companies will focus on the speed. And if the company is not moving that fast, they're going to stay behind. And that put me into the practice is what are the engineering disciplines are not moving that fast in terms of the matching the speed of development, matching the speed of delivery. And I didn't see it as a technical side of things. I looked at as a business outcome, how the business leader sees that, because for them it is still a 20% of the work. Sales, marketing, all are the big things. And what they are saying is whatever we are doing as a developers or testers or anything, it's not scaling. And if they have a want to put more money to do double, they would put the money. They have the money, but the function must work. And what I have seen the current practices in the QAs or in general, that wasn't allowing to scale, whether it's the alignment between the different teams or the resources in efficiency, or there are not enough people in the team or not the quality mindset. There are so many issues. So I see that is a more than a technical problem. I learned it is a cultural problem, and that can be only solved by providing the right tooling to the team. Because I was a DevOps person, one person managing hundreds of people, and helping them to deliver the outcome. So that was the same mindset I have, like why QA cannot have such tool in their arsenal. So still in a two team members in a 10-person engineering team, they can enable those 10 engineers to move faster and still maintain the quality. And so there wasn't a tool out there. There are tools that you need to babysit and tell, hey, do X and do Y, but it's a too much work and too much work to come back also. So with that principle, I started building this tool, and then Gen AI came to the rescue and expedited the entire process like a 20 times, 50 times faster in terms of how the other companies are moving, how the adoption is happening. So yeah, that's what the.
Yeah. We're thankful to you for being an innovator in this space. And I do think that focusing on the business outcomes when we're in quality is super important. A lot of times quality thinks just, oh, how do we test this?
Mhm.
But they don't think about ROI. So ROI of our testing efforts is super important for being efficient and effective as part of the business team. Right. All right. Well, let's with that introduction, let's jump into the first topic. I want to talk about the tools out there and what are the features of the tools on the market right now. So let me share my screen. And I'm gonna do this slideshow. Yeah, go ahead. Did someone say something? Or all right, I'm gonna start. And one thing I forgot to ask you guys, we know where you are, but we don't know who you are. Could you also put your kind of jobs or what is it that you like to do the most in a workplace in chat as well, so we know if you're a tester, developer, engineering leader, all of that. So let me start. So we compared in this comparison chart, we compared 4 tools: ContextQA, TraceScientist, Functionize, and TestRigger. So the marks here are kind of self-explanatory. So the check mark is if the feature exists, a limited, if the feature exists but limited, and X is not, feature is not supported. So I want to talk about first what type of test these products on the market support right now. So API testing, it's not called out here, but UI testing is kind of the given. In addition to that, we have API testing, mobile testing, generating the test automation for mobile devices, accessibility testing. This is a pain point for a lot of products, and automating that and having that as part of your tooling is super helpful to create a product with a great accessibility. Performance testing and security testing is still limited in the AI test automation tool landscape, but I hope that in the next few years we'll see the progress here as well. And exploratory tester, persona-based testing. So this is very interesting things that the AI test tools are doing now. So instead of giving the scenarios to the tools, we just give them the task. And I know many companies who are using AI for this already, even without the test automation tools. For example, Uber is using AI for exploratory testing. They just give it a task, basically, hey, can you get me an Uber from place A to place B, and see what the AI does. And it figures out, it has to figure out on its own if it can accomplish task or not. So as far as the type of testing, we already see a variety of test types being covered by these tools on the market. So next thing I want to take a look at is the test design. Can these tools design the test for us? Right, so the basic feature is, can we generate the test using a user story, and can we cover the negative edge cases and so on? Can we also import and generate the scripts? Can we import the manual test cases and then generate the test automation based on that? So that is, as you see, most of the find dependencies between the tests and avoid duplication. This is something that you probably all know is very time consuming. Like, how do we know if our tests has a lot of duplicate coverage, right? That's a lot of manual analysis and whatnot. So being able to do this with AI makes us definitely a lot more efficient. And as you can see, ContextQA is leading in these 2 categories here compared to other tools. The next thing I want to take a look at is test execution. You know that creating the test cases, that's not everything we do on a day-to-day basis, right? We have to run our tests. We have to schedule them. There is how do we optimize the test to run efficiently and quickly? So this is the features in basically test execution that the existing tools have. So most of them, can basically manually schedule the runs, right? Environment management, most of the tools can do that as well. So here you see that only one area we see that ContextQA is leading, and these are kind of, at least these tools cover these features. I know a lot more other AI test automation tools which don't have some of these features, right? Because cross-browser testing, like that's not easy. Cross-device testing, parallel test execution, you know how sometimes hard it is to implement and make sure that our test could run in parallel and can save us a lot of time. Scheduling the test, plugging in the tool into CI/CD pipeline. That is super important for us, right? And most of the enterprises require this if they want to adapt any new tool. Execution scheduler, also important feature. So let me pause here really quick because I might be going very fast. Do you guys have any questions so far on these slides? Did someone have a question?
Yeah, I see you listed 4 tools here. Are these like is only 4 on the market, or you pick up this top 4?
No, these are not the only 4 in the market. There's a lot more tools. These ones we think are the leading, some of the leading ones and the biggest ones that we picked.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, perfect. So thank you very much. So hello everyone. Myself, Deep Barot, you heard my story already, right? So I will just quickly provide you, right? Because there is a trends going on, the AI innovation is going on, but at the same time, we have wonderful folks. And how are we going to keep track of the innovation, right? In this fastest moving technology world. So I will be like walking you through two things, not only talking about the feature, but how these can play the role. So first 5 minutes, I will just give you the like a quick overview of the tool. At the same time, where the human in the loop comes in, and not only the capabilities, but how you can take advantage of this tooling and advance your careers. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about AI for QA excellence with human in the loop. So this is the like right approach that we are going to suggest you, like how you can leverage the existing technology in the market, being a QA manager or SDET or manual tester, it could be anything, and excel your career and change the trajectory in your next role. So the current challenge is that we are seeing, right? So obviously, like you need to match up the speed and what is happening, right? Everyone is started using Cursor, Copilot to write code. So they are pushing the features faster than before. So you need to keep up with the speed of development. So that is the biggest thing. The second thing is you need to speak the same language as the developers and the product manager speaks, because the architectures of the applications are changing. The agents comes in the play, MCP servers comes in the play, APIs are changing, and so the nature of the how the applications are being designed. So you need to speak the same language. And how you taste the application is also changing, because as I mentioned, how would you taste AI? How would you taste those features? How you taste those user interactions is very, very different than before. And when everything is changing super fast, how you gonna keep track of everything is becoming very difficult, and that's the problem we are trying to solve today. So when you are going to leverage AI, you need to also make sure like it is a partnership, it's a hybrid model, it's not either or, it's a both. But you need to adopt, and AI needs to be adapt you, means it needs to be a clear guideline between what is your role versus AI's role, so that you can deliver the outcome to the customer. So what AI can handle for you is repetitive test generation, maintenance, automation, that browser automation, all these executions, reporting. What you can bring to the table is a strategic planning, right? Because that still is human oriented. Very advanced edge cases. What could be the risk assessment and prioritization and business logic validation? So these are the areas that you need to sharpen yourself and leave other stuff to AI to take care of that repetitive task or automation and the maintenance part of it. So so the way it works is, right, how AI can help is in many stages of the development, and that's what we're going to do. So how AI can help with the test planning and increasing coverage, and then how AI can help you with the regression testing and reporting and metrics. So this is the life cycle we're going to look. We call it requirement to release from the day one, how you can leverage the technology and maintain the speed so you are not running behind. And the way it works is, right, the tool will help you with the automated development of the scripts or the automating those flows, and then automatically like maintaining and the fixing for you, so you are not spending time on the maintenance. Very important part is the business outcome. So if you don't take anything back with you, take this slide with you, because That's the engineering leadership loves this. Whoever delivers the outcome, people don't like who complains. People like who delivers, right? So that's the main part over here. So how you can be the person who delivers the outcome, and that outcome is giving the speed to the engineering teams, to the developers, to the product managers, in terms of faster regression means faster feedback, and the feedback also in the context of like what is happening, what needs to be done. Another point is the accuracy at the same time, because you do not want to give too many false positives. So that's where the AI can help you there, that increasing the accuracy. And then you need to scale. So once you do like, hey, I'm providing you the feedback, can I provide you the like 10 times more feedbacks across different systems, like compatibility, the accessibility, the performance at many areas, and then how those teams can rely on you. So you are not going and like fixing by hands all those failed scenarios, and making sure AI is helping you out. So that's where people can rely on you and you can scale your activities. So your career growth will look like this one, right? So all this maintenance part will be taken care by the automation, right? And it will bring the automation efficiency. So what you're gonna do is hand over some of these things to AI that, hey, go ahead and take care, where you gonna spend on the bigger piece, bigger pie, bigger value in the organization, which is the quality strategy, engineering leadership, and how to scale those operations. So you need to go beyond than those frameworks, beyond than learning those just hello world applications, right? And go very advanced into what quality means for the organization, what are the quality checks, and how you can grow as an engineering leader, basically. Okay, so this is the what we're gonna discuss today. That how AI generates the test cases, and then you gonna validate it. AI and automation gonna execute, and then if something is missing, then you come play the role. So it's a hybrid, and this is the like rotational stuff, right? Where AI do the some work, you gonna do the some work. So whatever you used to do regression cycle for two weeks, right? It is like running in 3 days. Coverage is increasing to 60% to over 90%, and flakiness is decreasing. So there are many KPIs that we can pass on to you, but these are the very high level KPIs you should keep in mind. Okay. And yeah, so that's what Total is about, like how you're going to advance your career using the tools. So one is you are going to provide faster feedback through the CI/CD pipeline to your engineering leaders or engineering team members. You're going to increase the coverage and do more get involved into the QA leadership. Now, there is there is no requirement. The engineering leaders don't care you do by hand or you use hire someone and do it, or you use the tool. What they look for is the outcome, and in the timely manner, right? So it's not like you don't have 2 years of time to improve that quality posture. You have 2 weeks, 2 months, or 30 days, 60 days, 90 days to deliver that outcome. Can you do that? And they want to hear yes. Right, so let's start. Let me just walk you through like how the entire flow works in ContextQA platform, and we can go from there. So let me start. So this is a ContextQA platform which I will walk you through one by one scenario. But before we start, right, these are the like integrations, and there are many more integrations ContextQA provides. The base thing you want to learn is the traditional approach of software testing is wrong. Relying only on the requirements is not sufficient, because there are many more clues, context that are required to design a good test cases. So those contexts could be not only Jira user stories, but it could be Slack conversations. It could be your production logs. It could be your CI/CD pipeline. It could be your GitHub code. Now as a testers, you can put your hand on your heart and say that how often these teams, right, whether it's a design team or the SRE team or developers, keep you in the loop when they are making any changes. And the answer is not that often. Even they don't include QAs very early in the product design also. And that is the gap, because you don't have the context. What is product building? How code is written? How people are using in the production? What is the design look like? Or you might have the context for the first time, but when it's changed, you don't have the context. So that is the gap, and that is the gap we are trying to solve using ContextQA. So today I will give you the example of Jira and one more integrations, and we can go from there. So in today's call, what I'm going to do is create a one user story in Jira saying that, okay, add a leave in OHRM platform. So I'm choosing general Orange HRM application for the testing, because yeah, I do not want to use any live client applications at this point. But here we're going to make it realistic, right? So here is like as a user story, and you all know no one writes a good user stories, right? So let's write a general user stories is a login to the platform, and user should be able to create one leave request. Okay, so I'm writing vague this one, and let's say I write acceptance criteria such a way, saying that new leave should be added and visible in the list. Okay, so it's a very vague requirement, and you all know that no one writes a good requirements. If it is good, then it's better, but we cannot rely on that. So what we are doing is we are going ahead and saying, hey, go ahead and create this particular user story for me. Okay, so we generated this user story in, over here. Now Jira has a native integrations with ContextQA as well. So you will see this panel over here. What it asks you as you are starting, like what is the bare minimum URL, right? Again, for test design, you do not need a URL, but we are going to take care of two parts, right? Test design and test automation both. So I'm going over here and say, just provide this URL for a reference, because it's not only, so we're going to take care of two parts today: how AI can help you with the test designing or generating more test cases, and automating, right? So we're going to take care of both parts. So let me just create this test over here. So it will starts learning about that scenario, and create this test case in your Jira platform as well as a context queue. So it is a both directional connection, right? So whatever gonna do in context queue will reflect in your Jira. Whatever you're gonna do in Jira will reflect in context QA. So in context QA, it generated this test scenario from your user story. And now I'm just going ahead and saying, go ahead and execute. Okay. So what it is trying to do here is, first it will try to understand like what is the look and feel of the application look like, what type of application it is. And it will automatically tries to capture all this information for us. Okay. So, and behind the scene, what it is doing while it is preparing is opening up the browsers, trying to understand your application, and provide you the live execution over here. So if you compare this process from your traditional processes, right, where you get the user story, then you need to understand that, you write step-by-step instruction, then you pass on to the SDATs. They spend time on maintaining framework, create the page object model, find the locators, write the scripts, and then run it. This is all you are doing in these 2 minutes or 5 minutes of time frame over here. Okay, so let it continue to run, and it is a smart enough to learn from the screen, because it has a vision capability, it has a reasoning capability, and it has action capability. So it's a multi-modal system. In the other words, you can say that it's agentic AI, right? So what it does is it thinks, or it tries to reason based on the story that you provided, and it will go ahead and log in. Now if you see here, I didn't provide any credentials, so it has two ways to do that, right? It can look at the screen and find out from there automatically, or it can remember from its a history, and that's the context we are talking about, right? That you do not need to provide that same context again and again, that hey, how to go from here to here. It will automatically do it, all the work for you. Okay, so this is the automation. It will continue to perform. I will keep here, keep this going. But the goal over here is automating is not a rocket science, right? With the tools like ContextQA, you can pass on and they will automate. Now, one more thing you can remember here is it is not relying on domain specific language. So you do not have to write BDD, you do not have to write step-by-step instructions or anything. It will automatically take care of that part. The second point over here is you are not maintaining this test case, or it is not based on the locators that you are finding out, right? It is just a plain English that you're writing. So maintenance is very easy for AI in this case, where you do not need to maintain when your look and feel changes, because for the first time itself it didn't use any locators to do this all work. Then why would it need when your UI gets changed? Because it already has a context, only just few things have changed. So these tools are good enough to do that. Okay, so let it continue, and we'll go back to the user story that we have. Okay, so coming over here, one more thing I want to highlight over here is this scenario, right? Where AI can help you in designing the test cases. Okay, so what I did is refresh the page. So this is the test we ran it, right? And obviously it doesn't allow it, right? So based on our criteria, it failed. And we will get back to that point also, like what it looks like. But what I want to highlight over here, if you see here, is these are the all the test cases, right? Regarding your credentials, which is your first screen. This is your second screen, right? About the date range. These are the test cases it is creating for you. Now, based on the one user story, it designed how many test cases, maybe like a 15, 20 test cases for you, right? So this is the like a positive, negative, and edge cases it is creating for you. Okay. Now let's go and take a look at one of these test scenarios, okay, in here. So if you see here, and I will just put it out here. Not only it created a scenario for you, it created the sample test data also for you. Okay, and put it into the right parameterization. So you are not hard coding anything. You can feed hundreds of different data set also if you want to, right? So this is the task that you are handing over to AI, where designing AI can help you there, right? Obviously, it can help you with the test data. Let's say you don't like this test data. You can just come over here and say that, hey, this is the new data. But still it did the lot of work for you, right? Putting into the context and putting all the placeholders. So you just need to do the minimum work here. If I come over here and let's say I don't like this entire prompt, I can go here and click here and change it that, okay, I do not want login button and I want like a sign in button. So everything you are communicating with the tool is all in plain English. Okay. And that's the beauty of the tool is anyone can use it, anyone can maintain it. And not only it is easy for you, it is easy for the AI also because you both understands the plain English and the context of the application. Okay, so going back to this scenario, right? So this is the test design part, right? So test has have been created. Also, this test, if you come back, it will get reflected into the ContextQA platform. So now you see that all the test cases are just created over here, which you are seeing all these test cases. Now, if I just tap down a little bit more, it will tell me like, okay, it is created from this particular Jira user story and these are the edge case, or it will tell me like, okay, this is a negative test case, or this is the particular user story which is 553 553. So this was the biggest bottleneck into the engineering world is the traceability. Now we are solving the traceability at the same time, that for which requirement you generated the test cases, and these test cases has how many bugs, right? How would you map it all together? This is what ContextQA is solving behind the scene. Okay, so now going back to one more scenario over here. So one thing you need to see here is like first is a look at history. So it will provide all the history to you right away. Uh, why it is important? Because you need to know that like how often you ran the test against these requirements. So that is the most important part. So what I will do here is go to this report, okay, that hey, this test scenario failed and this is intentionally failed, right? Because of it is not matching with the UI. So it will go ahead and provide you like a full video recording of it, like what happened at that time I was logged in, what happened, right? So, and it is taking care of all the screenshots for you. So now we are going little bit deep down into not only the happy path, but when something goes wrong. So what this tool is doing is it is capturing the evidences, okay? Evidences in terms of what? Screenshots, the console logs, network logs, all the details that you need, which you need to pass on to the developers, or there will be AI logs also, like as a AI, what you did. And what it happens, right? You will be able to generate the bug straight into the context platform. So in this case, it already reported a bug in Jira. So if I go over here and look at it, this bug has been generated with the proper screenshot, screen recording, and trace viewer. So see all the activities. If you combine how much time you spend when you get the first requirement to design the test case, to automate, to run it, and report a bug. If you see here, entire flow is automated using agentic AI. Obviously, this is all you have in front of you. So you can trace it or you can update it if you need to, but entire work has been automated over here. Okay, so going back to the board over here. So like if I go with one of these a dashboard that I want to show over here.
Well, that's just me deep.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the dashboard that you're gonna see eventually is, hey, as a part of this sprint, you have these scenarios, how many ticket is automated and what bugs are found. So everything will be reflected here. So that is very, very crucial for any engineering team to get that velocity, right? So this will apply to all the in-sprint automation, all the new things coming up. So I will expedite a little bit more on all these things. Okay. So we looked at this first part. Now let's say you are doing in sprint automation. You don't want to come through Jira. You can just provide your user story over here and it will get automated. Okay. Now let me just show you one quick example of it. In this case, if you are writing any user story, then AI can help you to redefine the user story also, because this is very, very crucial because no one is perfect. But if AI can help them and guide them, hey, there are some information missing, these are the steps will look like, this is the test data will look like, then it makes your job very, very easy, where you are not giving full control to AI, but AI help you as a companion. And this is under your control how much you want to give to AI, right? You can play the role in all these parts. Okay. So now going back to another scenario where ContextQA can generate the test cases from the requirements or your existing test cases. Your existing test cases can be plain English, could be from any test management tool, or it could be a video recording of anything. So you can upload your video like demo videos and it will generate those test cases for you. Okay. In this case, I'm going to upload this one of this file of over here. So let me just go here and I'm just generating these test cases in ContextQA. So what it will do is like it will make sure that, okay, I'm generating the right test cases. And at the same time, it is providing me like what are the like positive, negative test cases it will do. So what ContextQA is trying to do here is not only the greenfield project, but your brownfield project, where whichever you are working right now, you can connect, you can import from your Selenium to ContextQA. You can import your existing Jira test cases to ContextQA and automate right away. And based on that, it will start generating these test cases. And like if so it is started working on it. But if I show one of this example, it will look something like this one, that AI is helping you to generate these test cases for you. And it will tell like, okay, from this source is this one, you got generated positive, negative, and edge cases. Okay. So let me just go very quickly on Context QA's capability so that you all are aware of it. Obviously, we don't have that much time, but it takes care of the auto healing part. So if you see here in Salesforce like complex application, it is able to like auto heal based on the quarterly releases. It is able to auto heal, and AI is making sure that you are not hallucinating. It is providing the accuracy score, and if it is accurate only, then it will provide you the outcome. And it has many more capabilities, such as like a visual regression. So it will identify, are there any local field changes that you have, and it will identify for you. So you do not need to use 10 different tools. For web, mobile, API, you are using only one tool that helps you with the automation. The biggest part I want to highlight over here is this one, which is a risk-based testing. So what it does automatically, based on your data and the logs, it automatically generates the smoke, sanity, and regression testing suite. It understands all user activities. So if your application is this one, then as a user, whatever the activity you are trying to do, it understands that. It takes that logs information and generates this smoke, sanity, and regression test suite for you. And based on that, it will tell you that, hey, this many test cases failed, this many test cases, these are the test cases you should prioritize, and these are the test cases you shouldn't prioritize because no one is using this capability. So it is very, very important for you as an engineering leader what to prioritize, like which are the tests to run first and then afterwards, or which are the bugs to fix first. This is very, very important, and that needs to be changed every week. And that's what Context QA is providing to any engineering leader. So it's not only the automation tool, but it is about like how comprehensively it generates those test cases from different activities, from the design, the source code, and everything, and automates, runs, finds bugs, and provides that risk-based testing heat map for you. Okay, I will pause here for question and answer for you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Deep. Yeah, I'm seeing some of my favorite features. This heat map is definitely the analysis that AI can help us with. Is amazing, right? Because it let us focus on the right things. Let me see, but I want to hear from the audience. Do you see, guys, these tools helping you in your day to day? And what are some of the maybe things are useful, or your barriers would be to use this tool? Do we have someone who is a real person who can speak up?
Yeah, I think you need to unmute maybe. I don't know.
Oh, hold
Or,
on.
or I don't know.
Let me see if I,
Or
yeah,
they need
because
to
I
do.
told everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so here we have a change question from Darshak. How do you maintain the test cases changes?
Yes, yes. So this tool has already a capability of the adaptability. So basically, this tool knows, right, what happened. It knows like it is not showing up, right? So it automatically suggests you the fixes as well. And yeah, it will take care of that part. So you are not writing, and at the same time you will also have access to this tool. So you can come here, right? You can add your own step, like for example, new functionality has been added. Then you can add like a, hey, go ahead and like make sure a dashboard screen is visible, right? So you have the full control. So AI will help you in the maintainability, right? Which I mentioned about like this root cause analysis that we looked at here. So let me just go back again. So this auto healing, right? So this is the one. So this context QA has a full capability to understand the context, what as a user you have an intent, and what was your applications was looking like and at that given point of time. And based on that, it will automatically heal that things, right? So that's the maintainability you get. But let's say that is something a new feature and it is a broken stuff. So in that case, adaptability will help you. So what adaptability is, It will provide you the root cause analysis first and then help you to fix that first.
Great. And we have another comment. The biggest challenge would be training and maintaining the model and making it relevant to the app domain. Can you give us an idea, Deep, of how hard that is, and if you are managing this, or
Yeah. Yeah, it is not that difficult because but that is a very valid equation we are seeing over here. So, and this is a demo org I'm showing you, right? But what you see here is, right, these are the custom knowledge base you can feed. And that is the biggest problem in any of the world you are seeing is you cannot have generative AI to custom fit your own business use case or domain use case. So that's where ContextQA can help. Like you can feed your own knowledge bases over here. And it is not to just train AI, but it is the context you are providing that, hey, while performing this action, you can have this extra information and use this information so that we are getting to the final outcome. For example, how your application look different, what is your UX guideline, what is the compliance things that you want to make sure all the time. So you can provide that knowledge base and that will take care of this part. So yes, it doesn't take much time. You just need to provide this information explicitly.
That's great. And we have one more question. What if we have a very complex legacy and highly customized software like trading software? Does it work with those?
Yeah, so there is no restriction on what type of software as long as it's not a desktop application, we are fine. So if it is a web or mobile, any kind of application, this tool works completely fine. It works with the Airbnb kind of applications to the very legacy banking and uh, uh, aviation industry, the old systems as well. So yeah, there shouldn't be any problem.
And I want to thank Deep for coming in today and sharing such an exciting features that he's working on. I think this field develops so quickly. And if we invite Deep in 2 months, he's going to show us even, newer features that they're working on. That's how fast things are moving. So thank you, Deep, for sharing with us your latest features that you're building, and for helping us be more efficient as testers. As I think a lot of people are saying, it's not going to replace us, right? ContextQA is not going to replace us, but it's going to make us 10x more efficient as testers and test automation engineers. And thank you everyone for joining. I hope to see.
have one question. I have one
Yes.
question. So
Go ahead.
today, so thank you very much for the great presentation, both of you. I learned a lot, and I think it's more applied to the functional testing. And I do performance testing, so I hope someone can also share that type of knowledge. Yeah. And another thing I want to mention, my project just got cut short. I just, suddenly I need to look for a new job, new opportunity. So if anyone knows the performance testing type of job, please let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the time limitations, Emily, we couldn't show, but whatever you automated the scenario from the functional, all can be run at scale. You can mimic thousands or millions of users using ContextQA platform. And same thing you can do with the accessibility testing. So the beauty over here is you do not need to maintain separate scripts in traditional way, right? You would have a JMeter scripts or K6 scripts versus Selenium scripts for different types of automation. In this case, all can be done using ContextQA's this no-code tool, and you will be able to scale, and it will go all very bottom level of user scenarios. So there is
So you can go from the context of QA to go use part of that as
yes.
performance testing. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
quick question. So is there like a demo or is there a version that we can use as a user, like a single license, or like how does that work if somebody wanted to try out?
Yeah. So we work with you, right? So obviously send requests, we do the pilots, we provide the trials. Just we want to understand your use case, that you are like your need is the right fit for us or not. We currently work with like mid-size and enterprise customers, but we would be happy to give you a try. But yeah, we would like to learn from you also. What is your problem statement?
So it's not something that's readily available where you can download and use, or is it something that we would have to work with you in order to?
Yeah, currently you need to work with us. Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so you can book a demo on that website that Deep posted, contextqa.com, and you can discuss your kind of scenario and the trial if you're interested. Definitely recommend everyone to see the full demo. We were so short on time that Deep, I think, covered like 10% of the functionality, and you saw how many features, the tools like that have. So definitely, if you want to learn more, book a full demo and see what this tool is really capable of, and see if you're interested in pilot with it. All right, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining. Yep, hope to see you soon next time. Bye all.
Bye.